Hi, I'm Andrew White, and this video is to help teach people how to change the batteries in a Tri-Tonics G3 remote dog collar. Anyways, let's see what I can show you. I probably won't do the whole thing today because I've already done 2 of them and I've just got pictures, and I'll just do a little bit of explaining. So let's get started. This is Yesenia Martinez. Bless her heart. I'm blessed to have her here. Thanks for the help.
I'm happy to be here.
So here's your battery, and here's my receipt. Here's my transmitter. So this is for Sport Basic G3. Let's get the facts here. Sport Basic G3. I built this little thing because I lost my last transmitter. So first thing you do, get your battery out here, dead battery, and you take a what do you call this? Help me, my mind went blank. A razor blade, and you go ahead and cut this piece off. Do your best to save it. Put it on a piece of plastic or something. When you get done, take it and set it on a piece of plastic. You can reuse that. Now, once you get that off, the battery is going to be a 3-piece battery, and that's what it will look like. HHR-70 AAA. So that HHR, I guess, stands for rechargeable. So you have to pay attention to one's up. There's the positive side, and there's your negative side. They will go in there. One contact will mate up on one side, and one will mate on the other. They'll sit in there. It's a 3.6 volt, but they're only 1.2 a piece. But you buy them in a pack. The last pack I bought was from Battery Plus or something, and they're like 18 bucks. I bought another pack from online, and they were about the same price. So they fit in there just like that. So the way to get them out is to get a knife or 2 like this, set them on the stove, and get them red hot. And once they get good and hot, get a glove on and start cutting. I marked this out with a marker so you can see the areas where you cut. You don't want to overcut and get into these holes. Are very critical. Don't cut there. This side has the contacts to recharge it. You won't be able to cut through those. You want to be careful of them. So you'll get your blade super hot, and you'll only be able to cut a certain amount at a time. Then you put it down, grab another one, and cut a little bit more at a time. This area here where the contacts are, you're going to come up and go over the contacts, back down in again, and then over the contacts again. And then back down in again. You're probably going to have to change, get your blade, get a new blade, and get it. It's got to be red hot, and then cut it again all the way across this side, and then you're going to have to cut it all the way along the back. And once you get that completely cut out, get a small nail. You may want to trim it. Take a pocket knife and trim all the plastic away because it's going to come bubbling up. And if you need a fan to keep the smoke off you, go for that. I didn't have a problem with it. It really wasn't that bad in my estimation. So once you do that, get a nail and grab it with your vice grips and put that on the stove and get it red hot. And take a small nail and go the full distance of all these cuts. So you'll end up making a groove like this. You're going to want a groove in there so that when you go back in with your JB Weld or epoxy, whatever you fix it with, it'll have a better place to lay down. So anyways, once you get that done and you get it all the way around, you're going to have to pull it out. So get a pick in there, get behind it, and you're going to have to start wrestling and try and get it out. I've taken off this plate on my other occasions, you can get your pocket knife underneath there and pop it off. You won't break it. You could possibly lose these, so be careful of them. If that helps, take it off. You can always tack it back down with some Permatex. Let's grab some pictures here. This is when I did my last one. So there's the old battery right there on the table. There's a picture of it. And the contacts are still in place. I have popped off the face, as you can see. And at this stage of the game, you'll need a tool like this. Take these, and you're going to have to tear the contacts off the corners. And in another picture, I've marked them. I believe that, well, we'll see. But you got to make sure you get positive in the right place and negative in the right place. So you peel those off, and those will come all the way down around the side of the battery. So you pull them off on both sides, and then you get behind that board with a pocket knife, and you can peel those batteries off. There's an adhesive on the back of that. So let's go to the next picture, and maybe I can help you with that. This is a better picture. This is the new battery going back in. Contacts are still the same, undamaged. On the edge of the board, you'll see how it comes down there. And your contact, you'll solder that on the side there. So that one was a positive. I marked those so that I didn't get it mixed up. So you'll solder both of those. If you end up cutting one of these, you're going to have to solder it. But that's one of the nice things about using the hot knife is you won't cut through those metal contacts to recharge it. So this is all stuck back up, and it's ready to go back in. And along the edge here of the box, you're going to have to trim it with your pocket knife so it'll lay back down nice. It has to go in flat. If you have to weld or solder, shall I say, you have to solder on top of this board, it won't give you very much clearance. The clearances are so tight on this that it's not really designed to be done that way. You need to do your soldering on the sides. And make sure, if you buy a battery that has some kind of a wiring that makes the battery not sit 100% flat, it has to sit 100% flat. If it bumps up at all, you need to change it. Grind it off, cut them off, whatever you got to do, so that the contacts will sit perfectly flat. It can't raise up any. So let's go to the next picture. Once you set it back down, there's the picture of it set back down on there. And it's all in place. Now it's time to put the face back on it. Like I said, I don't think you have to take that face off. I just did it on mine because I wanted to take my pocket knife and clean up all the plastic. So once you get to that point, here's a picture of it on the charger. Everything seems to be working well. There's a picture of a good picture of how I cut it. I was a little sloppy on that side, but this other side came out really nice, real straight. And a little extra room, you see there, around those contacts with that nail, making sure that it's all gouged out. So let's go to the next picture. And one thing that's real handy is stick a couple pennies in the back. So when you put a clamp on this, you don't damage that holder. So you can put a vice grip on it without damaging it. So now you'll see the vice grip and some JB weld all slopped on there. Use that same razor blade to kind of smear it across there nice and smooth. And let that set up, do both sides, maybe a couple corners. And then once it sets up good, go back and finish it. But probably don't put JB weld on the side where the contacts are. This side where the contacts are, probably just stick with Permatex. and because you may want to change that battery again someday. And I'm not sure if I want to fool around those contacts with JB Weld. So here's the tools. You're going to need some knives, a pocket knife, some soldering, resin. This is resin core solder. This is a soldering iron. I love it. I got that at Lowe's for about 19 bucks. It's a Weller. Has 3 lights on it. You don't do much soldering on this project, but it's nice to have a good one. It really is a good one. And here's some JB Weld, vice grips, and black Permatex. And I don't know, that should pretty much be it. When you buy one of these batteries, it might have wires like this. Just cut them off. Just take all the plastic off, everything, get it completely clean. The first one I did is actually this one right here. And the battery had a little loop right in here where they made a contact between these two batteries. And it actually didn't allow the battery to lay as flat as I would have liked it to have. So I probably should have maybe trimmed that up a little and then soldered it myself. But yeah, there's no extra space in this box because if it bumps up on you, it won't lay flat against your receiver collar and you won't be happy with it. And it won't be a nice seal. So there you have it. Thanks for watching and God bless you. And if you have any questions, you can always email. Take care.